Well, hello, how you doing? This is the S. Anthony Says podcast. This is the S. Anthony Thomas, and this is episode number 259. How are you doing, my wonderful sass bastards around the world? How are you doing? You know, every week you guys give me something to thank you for, and I'll be honest with you. Am I very grateful? Of course. But I'm not going to thank you at the beginning of the show this week. Why? Because I don't want you to get full of yourselves. Yeah, that's right. Did you do nice stuff? Sure. Did you write nice stuff? Of course you did. But I'm not going to mention it. Yeah, that's right. I don't want you to, we do nice stuff for him all the time. Let's listen to the beginning of a show before the show starts. He's going to say nice stuff about us. Well, I'm not saying anything nice about you this week, even though you deserve to have nice stuff said about you. Once again, I don't want you to get full of yourself, so I'm just not gonna do it. Not doing it. Nope. All right, I'm gonna do it. Thank you very much for all the listens and the downloads and the spreading of the words, and hello, new sass bastards. Thank you for coming along. I know you came along here and you're listening because you have friends of mine that have been long-term sass bastards, and they've recommended me to you, and of course, and according to what you've written to me, you were listening, you listened to the show, and you listened to some old shows, and now you're permanent sass bastards. So I want to say thank you very much for being sass bastards. So I was trying not to say that, but I'm trying to be tough and act like I'm above it all, but I'm never gonna be above it. Well, folks, let me ask you this. Now, I know that those of you that are listening to me in Australia, you don't have any snow to worry about, so you're probably laughing at me right now. And in Canada, you got your ass whipped with snow, so you know what I'm talking about. My West Coast people, I used to be one of you, and I know you're going, snow? Yeah, I understand there's this concept of cold water from the sky that accumulates on the ground. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. F y'all. But we had snow here on the East Coast, my friend. We had snow. They had snow in Philly. We had snow in New Jersey. And it's a huge, what I like to refer to as a pain in the buttocks. You see, I lived in California during the 90s, and I'm back on the East Coast now for now. But I'm telling you right now, when that one snowstorm, even though it wasn't as bad as they said it was going to be, made me think maybe I should take my punk ass back to California when I didn't have to deal with any of this snow crap. That's what I'm thinking. Because it was actually very, very heavy snow. And I'm not a very young guy. I'm capable of shoveling my own walkway without worrying about any serious health benefits or any health problems or any serious health problems or any health problems. Not a big deal. But I don't want to do it anymore. And this time the snow was heavy. And if you follow me on social media, I already showed you I was at a friend's house after I took care of my spot, and I was over there and I was helping them out because they got it worse for some reason. And a big giant block of ice the size of a damn dining room table almost landed on my ass. And at first I thought it landed on other snow, so I didn't hear it hit the ground. It didn't have when you hear something heavy hit cement, you hear that boom sound. But this landed on other snow, so it just went poof. So at first I thought it was just a big puff of snow, not a big deal, until I went over and started picking up the pieces. And the pieces that it had broken into, each piece felt like holding a damn cinder block. This was a heavy, big, giant piece of ice that almost landed on me. And I'm sitting there going, okay, winner, you tried to kill me. Well, guess what? F you. As soon as I get an opportunity to, damn it, I'm moving someplace where you can't get me. Right? You winner blocked in my car when the plow comes by and plows my car in, and it froze overnight, and I didn't even know that the plow had come through. I thought my car had been dug out. I thought the mighty Toyota Camry was free. Set them free. If you love somebody, set them free. But no, I came back outside and I see this big giant thing of snow on all sides of my car, and a little bit of I just wanted to find the person that plowed it in and say, get your punk ass back out of bed, bring your punk ass back and plow my car back out, punk, because I shoveled it out and you plowed it in, punk. And I would have done that if, one, I knew who did it, 2, I could get my car out in 3. I would not do that because that would be harassing and I would go to jail or the person might kick my ass. But I'm telling you, I'm getting a little sick of the damn winter, my friend. I don't mind. I mean, the cold sucks, right? And I know people in Australia and California are going, loser. Well, F y'all. It's a big pain in the ass, man. It really is, man. It's like winter just comes in and it just messes up everything. I mean, it just comes in and just F's up all of your plans. If you have kids, you get stuck at home with your kids. If you don't have kids, you get stuck at home staring at wall-to-wall news coverage of the snow like they didn't know it was coming. Winter's like a bad ex that just keeps showing up and messing up things for you. Right? You made plans to go someplace and then they go, well, it's going to be 4 inches of snow. That's not that big of a deal. Oh, it's not that big of a deal, person watching on television. Well, guess what, jackass? This is not that fluffy snow that you can go out 4 hours later and it's not really that big of a deal. It's going to be that really heavy snow. There's a really good chance that a lot of your power lines are going to get messed up and you're not even, in fact, you probably don't even see this now because your power lines are already messed up. Ha ha, losers. Winner. Bastard. Coming along, messing everything up. Got to go outside because you can't chip the ice because it's too thick and hard and it's too cold outside. You can't even chip it. So you got to crawl into your car and turn on your car and sit in your car for 20 minutes because you don't want your battery to get messed up because of the cold weather. Feel like an idiot walking out there, turning your car on and sitting in there. It's kind of like a tease in a way. Hey, I'm in my car. The car is on, the radio's on. It's warm in here. Let me drive someplace. Oh, that's right. I can't. And you feel like a little kid that, you know how the little kids ride those little stupid horses in front of department stores for a quarter. You feel like a grown ass man doing that. I was waiting for one of my parents to come up and go, okay, little S. Anthony, you've ridden in the Toyota Camry long enough. Come on, mom, just a few more minutes. Shut up. What did your mother tell you? Oh, come on, dad. This is you guys don't, I hate you guys. Dude, you're 48 years old. Aren't you a little old for saying stuff like that? Yeah, but you're making me get out of the mighty Toyota Camry. We're not actually here, jackass. This is a figment of your imagination. Maybe you should check and see whether or not some of that carbon monoxide is coming back into the car and you're passing out. Yeah, I think that's the problem. In winter, God, I can't stand it. You know, I've been climatized to the cold weather again, so it doesn't bother me like that. It's just a pain in the ass. And like I was saying, winter is like that ex that comes back and messes up your life. Comes back and just starts messing stuff up because it can. We've all been there before. I told you the story like several episodes ago, but since there's a new audience here, I'm gonna give a little paraphrased version of it. There was a girl I was attracted to. I thought she was a really, really beautiful girl. We're both in our 20s, and I just moved to California, and I was about to move in on her, and then I did move in on her, and then boom, boom, jiggity, boom, da boom, jiggy, boom, boom, jiggity, boom, da boom, jiggy. I'm trying to be delicate about it. How can I put this? I was banging the crap out of her on a daily basis. And I noticed that she had an ex. And everybody has exes. Oh, but this ex was nuts. And this ex's friends were nuts. And I have this thing about not being shot by large groups of nutty people. So I had to get away from her because he kept showing up. We're driving someplace and there he is. We're going someplace to eat and there he is again. And then I go someplace and there he is. And then I went, what are you doing with my girl, man? I said, she's not your girl. You broke up last year. You haven't seen her in a while. How do you know we've been gone for last year? Because I've been over at our house taking her to Drill City every day for a year and your punk ass wasn't there. Oh, she been doing it to my girl. You don't have a girl. Only girls you have are at the end of your wrists, punk. Okay, I did not say none of that because he was twice my size and carried weapons. F y'all. It's my story to tell. I'll lie if I want. But I had to get out of there, man. And the funny thing about it was I wasn't worried about her safety. He wasn't going to do anything to her. He was never violent to her. He was one of those guys that would damn near kill dudes near her. And I'm not really that invested in her. Because as it turns out, I was dating her in all honesty, I was only getting it on with her for like a month and a half. And then this dude started acting wacky. And I'm going, one of two things is going to happen. He's going to whoop my ass or I'm going to whoop his ass. And I'm not going to let him whoop my ass, which means I'm going to whoop his ass. And then his friends are going to try to whip my ass. And then my friends are going to try to whip their asses. And all of this because I don't think so. So I got the hell out of there. And it's not even gender specific. You've seen that before when you have a guy and the ex won't give up and keeps following around and doing crappy stuff, flattening the tires and breaking up the windshield and keying the cars and all of that crap. You've seen it before and they disappear and you think it's okay. And then as soon as you start getting happy, their punk ass shows back up and all of a sudden you find out your tires are slashed and you just gave sugar in your gas tank and your windows are smashed out and all of that crap. And just when you think you're out, and there they go again. Well, winter's just like that. Right? Especially when you go through a whole winter and there's no snow or anything like that, and there's no snow in the forecast, and you kind of get lulled into sleep. You get lulled to sleep and you're thinking, there's going to be no snow. I got nothing to worry about. What's the big deal? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hello, tonight on the news. I bet you guys made some plans, didn't you? You had some stuff that was going to be really cool to do. You probably had some business opportunities. You had some stuff that's so time sensitive that it has to happen at a specific time. And if it doesn't happen at a specific time, you're going to be ass out. It's going to mess up everything. You're going to have no chance to get this done again. You have to have it done at this exact time and this exact place. And the place that you're going is far away. It's far away. It's near the mountains. And guess what, jackasses? There's going to be 3 feet of snow. You're not going to be able to go there. And your plans are messed up. Oh, you probably thought you were going to do it over the internet. Well, guess what? The place is going to be in a place where it's rural and the power is going to be out. So nice try, jackasses. Oh, and it's going to mess up the phone lines too, punk. Nice try. It's over for you. That business opportunity is going to go through your fingers. Ironically, the same way snowflakes will go through your fingers. Ha 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 ha. Winter. F you. Now, like I said, I'm a person that used to live in California during the 90s. And when I went out to California during the 90s, it was so good. Christmas time would come around and you'd see those stupid commercials. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Those old Rankin and Bass cartoons or animations come on, those claymation craps. And you know it's Christmas time and you're walking around with a t-shirt and shorts on. And there are people walking around Los Angeles, California, and Hollywood, and Santa Monica, and Hermosa Beach, and all of those beaches, and all of that crap, looking at Christmas lights that are on palm trees. There's women looking at Christmas lights at nighttime in bikinis with their delicious buttocks and delicious chest yummies and bikinis. And this is Christmas. Christmas. It's December 24th, and what are you doing? You're on the beach throwing a frisbee, and it's 82 degrees outside, and it's Christmas, and the people back east are calling you up. Hey, what's going on, ass? Hey, what's going on, guys? We got 3 feet of snow. Oh, that's a shame, man. I can't talk to you right now. I have to go to the beach and look at my girlfriend and run around in the bikini, and then we're going to go back to her place, get it on, and then we're going to just sit on the porch and look at stuff and sit there and be warm and then get it on. What will you be doing? I'll be in the house getting pneumonia because all of the kids are sick. That's too bad. I gotta go have some sex now. Bye, click. But you get lulled into sleep, my friend. You live in California. You forget about that. Being in California, if you hate the winter, is like being in the witness protection program. You know the winter's just waiting to get a shot at you, but it can't. You're too far away. It's like hiding out from the mob. The mob doesn't know where you are. They're looking for you. They're waiting for you. They're just waiting for an opportunity. They're hoping you're dumb enough to come back so they can get a crack at you. You know that's what they want, but you're in California. You're too far away. The winter would like to get its hands on you. The winter would like to get you in an alley and beat you down. The winter would like to shake you down and take some money from your business. The winter would like to blow up your car. The winter would like to do all of that kind of stuff to you. The winter is like a mobster, and California's like being in the witness protection program, and the winter wants to kick your ass, but it can't because it doesn't know where you are. The winter doesn't even know that there is a West Coast because it's never been there. It doesn't even know what a West Coast is. It's almost as if the winter is one of those people that thinks the earth is flat. The winter just goes, I don't know anything that goes beyond the central time zone. I didn't even know there's a Pacific Ocean. Never heard of it. That's right. But I made the mistake of booking a bunch of gigs on the East Coast, right? And I was going to go back, but I got stuck here doing some stuff. And next thing you know, life took over and I wound up staying here and I didn't want to, even though I'm from here, but I didn't want to. And it's like somebody who goes back to visit family. You kind of fall into the habit of being back near where you were, right? You think the mob forgot about your punk ass, don't you? Oh no. They were waiting for an opportunity. They were waiting for you to bring your dumb ass back. They were waiting, and you came back like a fool. You didn't just come back really quickly, say hello to everybody and disappear. No, you decided to stay, you dumb bastard. And you're sitting at home. They probably forgot about me. The winner probably forgot about me. The winner's not going to hold a grudge like that, is it? Hi, you dumb bastard. The winner's been waiting for you. The winner just said to give you this message. Hi, I don't know where you came from, but I know you're back and I'm going to fuck you up really badly. Wait a second. Who told the winner I was back? We're going to have 5 feet of snow. We were actually only going to have 2 inches of snow, but the winner said something about, he's back, I've got to get him. And it's basically all S. Anthony's fault that we have 5 feet of snow, because the winner has been saving up lots of winter ass whippings for him, and we're all taking the brunt of it. Excuse me, person walking down the street. Can I ask you a question? Yeah. What's going on? I don't know. I thought we were only going to get 2 inches of snow. I mean, what, did S. Anthony come back to New Jersey again? As a matter of fact, he did. Come on, man. You should have stayed in California. The winner's been walking around all year talking about the second you come back, he's going to really give it to you good, and it doesn't matter if he gets all of us too. It's your fault, man. You bastard. Go back to California. We should all make you dig out our houses. The winter wouldn't be fucking us up if it wasn't for you. See, S. Anthony, you should have kept your punk ass on the West Coast. You come back to New Jersey. I mean, I'm glad you came back because I'm going to be on air 12 straight hours talking about the snow and telling people something that they couldn't possibly not know, like it's cold outside and that the snow is deep. You know, the kind of thing they could have known by looking out their window. But I'm glad you're back, and so that's okay. None of that happened. But I'm telling you right now, my friends, I don't like the winter. And I'm talking to you, winter. Plowing, making my car get stuck in your snow, right? Then you're going to throw that table of ice at my head like that. Luckily, my cat-like reflexes may be able to get out of the way. Yeah. Well, guess what, winter? March is almost over, so it's moving into another season, you punk ass. And I'll be waiting for you next year. I'll be waiting for you. I know you're going to try to take a crack at me again. You're going to try to snow me in again and ruin my plans. But you know what I'm going to do next time winter comes around, punk? As soon as it says winter's coming, I'm going to go someplace warm. And I'm going to stay there until your punk ass goes away, winter. F you. Maybe I'll go visit some of my sass bastards in Australia. Then again, half the animals in Australia can viciously kill you, so I will not be doing that. Unless I can make friends with some Australians, personal friends with you, so you can tell me about the stuff. Don't eat that, don't touch that, that'll kill you there. Okay, I'm going to need, if I come to Australia, I'm going to need some of my Australian sass bastards to be around me at all times to protect me from all of those animals that can viciously kill me. And my California sass bastards will actually know y'all personally, so, I don't need nothing from y'all except that y'all, we keep listening and have some of y'all personal friends, so, I'm probably going to be talking to you on the phone off and on, when I'm not doing the show, so I don't even know why I mentioned y'all asses. But anyway, but I just want to say before I end this segment to winter, F you, punk, with your snow throwing ass. I know what I'm going to do to teach you a lesson when I'm going to go to my refrigerator right now. I'm going to take some ice cubes out and I'm going to slap the shit out of them. Yeah, that's right. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, winter? There's nothing you can do about it. That's right. I'm going to put some ice cubes in some hot tea and watch it melt. And I'm going to sit right there and I'm going to trash talk those ice cubes. That's for your friend winter, bitch. Yeah, melt some more. I'm going to put some more hot water in there to teach you. No, we're melting. That's right. Screaming pain, punk. Am I starting to sound crazy here? Yeah, that's probably what happens when you don't get enough sleep. But unfortunately for you people, when I finish recording the rest of the show, it will be at the same time. So it'll probably be just as weird as this, because it's not like I would have gotten 8 or 9 hours of sleep between segments. Don't judge me, bastards. Segment over. You know what, guys? Let me ask you this. Have you ever had somebody in your life that did so many horrible things that when they passed away, it kind of didn't shock you? And you weren't even necessarily sad, not because you hated them or anything like that, but because you were surprised they lived as long as they actually did? Because we had a person like that. He wasn't necessarily a friend, but he was kind of an acquaintance. You know, when he had a lot of things wrong with him, he had a weird heart thing going on, he had several illnesses going on at the same time. But he was one of those guys that had things going on internally that were wrong with him. But if you looked at him externally, you wouldn't think there was anything wrong with him, but you knew there was something wrong with him. Right? And in addition to that, he was doing things on a regular basis that was so horrible, just horrible. And you just were wondering there's going to come a time when it comes back and bites you on the butt. There's going to come a time when it's going to get you. It's going to come a time when it comes to get you, so much so that you were just waiting for a phone call to find out that somebody shot him, stabbed him, blew him up. He died of this, he died of that. You were waiting for that phone call. The same way, if you have a sick relative and you know the inevitable is going to happen. Grandma has this and she's 87 years old and she's been sick for 7 years, and you know it's going to come. There's nothing anybody can do about it. You're waiting for the phone call. And sometimes even in that case, with the extremely old relative who has the extreme illness, they hang on for such a long period of time. You stop jumping when the phone rings. You know one of those phone calls is going to be grandma's dead. You know it, but you stop jumping when the phone rings because they hang on so long. And then when the phone call comes, yes, you're sad because it's over. But there's a sense of relief because now you know they're not hurting anymore. Now you know they've passed on. Now you know it's over with. And even though you want them to be around, it's over with and you know it. Well, there's something similar to this cat because we knew something was going to happen to him. He did too many bad things to too many people. Nobody even wanted to be like really close friends with his punk ass. You knew who he was. He was a very charming guy. I'm not going to say his name, but he's a very charming guy. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. But he was one of those guys, you look at him and you're going, this guy is never going to see 30 candles. In fact, he ain't going to see 25 candles. If he sees 25 candles, okay, he's not going to see 25 candles, but he did see 25 candles. And we were like, man. But we were all still waiting. We were waiting for the phone call. He got shot. He got stabbed. He caught this disease. He caught that disease. We were waiting for it. And it didn't happen. And then he was 30. And we were completely shocked. And he was just like that sick relative. You didn't expect him to get anywhere near 30. But then when he got 30, just like that sick relative that hung on, and you know the inevitable was coming, but they hung on for a while. You didn't jump when the phone rang because you didn't expect anything to happen to him. You knew it was going to, but you didn't think you were going to have to wait for the phone call every 5 seconds. You didn't jump on the phone call, expecting something bad to happen. And now he's 35. And now you're not even expecting anything to happen to him. He's been doing bad things for such a long period of time. He's been doing drugs. He's been doing crime. He didn't admit to the crimes, but we all know he committed the crimes, which is why we were never going to be friends with this cat. But we knew who he was, and he was charming when you met him, and you saw him in the neighborhood all the time. And now he's 40, and you're completely stunned that the bastard made it to 40. He's having sex with women with no condoms on. He's got 55,000 different children. He's having sex with prostitutes and crack whores and all of that kind of crap. And this bastard didn't catch one disease. He had been up in all of these women with no thing. He had 40,000 children, but he didn't catch one disease, and we were shocked. Dude, you're not just playing roulette. You're standing on the roulette table with alligators taped to your balls. What the hell are you doing? Go buy a Powerball ticket. Maybe you used up all of your luck, but do something. You gotta stop. And now he's 42. You can't believe what's going on. How is this guy still? And then he died at 45. And the funny thing about it was we went to the funeral, but nobody was sad. Nobody was sad because we knew this sucker was living on 20 years of borrowed time. You can't have sex with street prostitutes with no condom on. You can't have sex with random women with no condom on. You can't commit crimes that you won't admit, but we know that you did and get away with it. You can't do that. You can't pick fights with people and get your ass whipped and sometimes whip their ass and sometimes have their friends come back and whip your ass. You can't keep doing that and live a long time. You can't do that in the hood and last that long. But he lasted that long and we were all stunned. Some of us went to the funeral just to find out whether or not it was really him. Maybe it was somebody with the same name. There's no way in the world. He's been too lucky for too long. Did his luck run out? You're damn right it did. That was really him in the casket. His ass was dead. You want to know how surprised people were that he was actually dead? Nobody in there was dressed up because we figured this is a whole bunch of crap. Maybe it's just a scam. Maybe he's got a dead fake dummy in the body. We all kick in some money for the funeral, and then we find out that the funeral parlor was a front, and it was actually a friend of his, and he's not actually really dead. And we all kicked in this money and said we're sorry that he had to go. And then we find out 2 years later the bastard bought a damn car with the money, and he's in another state banging a bunch of other hookers with no condoms on and committing crime someplace else because our dumb asses gave his punk ass money. But it was really him. Whoa. And nobody was sad. Nobody was sad because we were surprised that he lasted that long. We were surprised that he lasted that long. He lasted so long that he actually outlasted the death pool where we all chipped in money. I think he's going to die at this age on this date. I mean, none of us did that because that would be wrong. If he had just died about 6 weeks earlier, I would have made $500 allegedly. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Damn. I could have used that money. But everybody was surprised. Everybody was completely stunned that the bastard lived that long. Even the preacher who we thought was a fake preacher, who was actually a real preacher, was surprised by it. I can't believe he lived this long. Everybody in here knows what I'm talking about. You realize now with his dead body here in the church, this is literally only the second time he's been in church. It's a tie. He was in the church one time when he was alive, and now he's in the church one time dead. When he was a little boy, he was going to come into church one time, and he actually touched the doorknob of the church, and his hand burned. And I, making a joke, said to him, you know why your hand burned? 'Cause Satan is not allowed in this building. And he actually took me literally because he was kind of dumb. I mean, let's be honest, the door was a reflective surface. The knob was a color that does not absorb the light. It was in the direct line of the sun. So sometimes that's why we put the awning up, because the damn doorknob was hot. Everybody that came to the church knew that. That was why everybody would open the door carefully. But this dumb ass actually believed me. And he went on to lead a demonic life, having fornication with crack whores and doing all sorts of disgusting things that we can't prove that he did, but we kind of know that he did. You know how many times he was shot and stabbed in his lifetime? Too many to count. And somehow he made it to 45 years old. I don't know how he did it. I'll be honest with you. This is the house. I have to tell the truth in this house. I shot him 2 times myself, which was amazing. I'm surprised he was alive. I went over I said, I'm sorry I shot you, my child. And he said, you ain't the first one. And they got up and walked away. Should have shot his ass again because he owes me money. Sticking his hand in the collection plate bones by the window. Well, I was wrong. He had been in the church 3 times. 1 time physically, 1 time as a dead person, and that time he stuck his hand in the window and took the money out of the collection plate, leading to me putting those bullets in his ass that I put in his ass. But I digress. So we're all sitting there and we're wondering what the hell is going on. And it made me think, man, because we had gotten so used to him being corrupt and being a criminal, even though we couldn't prove it, but we knew he did it. We were so used to it. And that's what happens to everybody if you really think about it. We have gotten so used to a level of corruption that sometimes we think of corruption as a feature of society. We allow people to do corrupt things and we just kind of gloss over it. No big deal. There's a little bit of corruption. You know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you don't. You've been in situations where if somebody steals a little bit of money, as long as they're only stealing a little bit of money, you don't even really get that angry at them, right? If you go to a store and they shortchange you every once in a while, you don't even really think about it. Sometimes you don't even count your change. I'm a quarter short. I'm $1 short. We had a corner store where a guy was doing that all the time. He acted like he couldn't speak English. I found out later that he could, but at the time I thought he couldn't. So he'd make a mistake here or there, 25 cents here, 50 cents there. He would do all of that, and I didn't give a crap. What, 25 cents? I'm not going back in the store for that. 50 cents? I'm not going back in the store for that. $1? I'm not going back in the store for that. But then he did that to everybody. But we're thinking, hey, I remember one time a guy was getting at him, and I said, hey, man, come on, man. This guy comes from another country. He's learning a second language. He's running a business. If he makes a couple of mistakes, it's not that big of a deal. Imagine you going to his country and trying to start a business and you're learning a language. You'd probably make a mistake with their currency, too. It's not that big of a deal. I defended that bastard. I didn't realize. And then one day I walk into the store and the bell at the door did not ring. And I heard somebody speaking in completely fluent English. And I looked up and I looked at the reflective mirror that they looked to see whether or not somebody's stealing something. And I saw it was the guy who couldn't speak English was speaking perfect English. What? That bastard. And I could tell his English was really perfect because you know how sometimes when you learn a second language, there's a moment where you're thinking in your native language and then you have to translate and then you respond, or you're thinking your native language, you translate and then you make a statement. There was no translation time. He was perfect with his English. And then he didn't see me. And then he comes back to the thing and starts speaking in his native language with the broken English. And I'm going, the jig is up, jackass. I saw your punk ass on the phone. And he goes, oh, don't tell anybody. I said, oh, I'm not going to tell anybody. Thanks for the free ice cream, fuckface. Shut up. Okay, I did not take the ice cream, but I told him to cut that crap out. And I was mad because I defended his punk ass. As it turns out, it was a level of corruption at that place. He was stealing a quarter from this person and $1 from that person and a quarter here and a quarter there. And nobody would have noticed it. Had I not even seen him speaking in fluent English on the phone, I wouldn't have thought anything of it. I would have said, it's not a big deal. And it's the same thing what happens with our politicians now. We expect a certain level of corruption. We know they're lying a little bit here and there. Even the good ones lie a little bit here and there. They'll fudge this. They'll make something sound a little better than it is. We'll accept that a little bit. But now we're at the point now where we've accepted corruption so much that the only thing that can happen now is, instead of just staying at the same level of corruption that we had before, what do they do now? Add more corruption. I mean, you accepted that level, didn't you? And whose fault is that? Right? Like that guy in the neighborhood, we could have all just said, listen, don't hang around us as long as you're acting like that. Maybe he would have changed the way he was. Maybe he would have had less stab wounds and bullets in his ass. Maybe he would still be alive. Who knows? But we accepted that level of corruption from that jackass, and we didn't say anything, and we just let him go about our business. We didn't hold him accountable. We just said, well, that's just how he is. He, and laughed at the stories. And what happens? His ass is dead. And when we look at the politicians that we have, whether we're talking about locally or nationally, like I said, we've accepted a certain level of corruption. And when you let that be the baseline, there's only one place to go. They're not going to go, we've been corrupt for so long and the people have been nice about it. Let's be a little less corrupt and make sure that they have some benefits and some health care and make sure that they're educated and make sure that there's some infrastructure and make sure that the water's clean and make sure that they are not going to do that. What do? More corruption. And whose fault is that? Right? That's our fault. Because they can't do shit unless we let them do shit. So when I think back at that funeral at the guy, I realize, even though this is a little different than the politicians, because in politicians, we could just vote their punk asses out and replace them. You can't go, okay, you're acting like a jackass as an individual. We're going to vote. And then if we vote that you should act like a normal human being and start being responsible in the neighborhood, you're going to have to do it. It doesn't work that way. But if people weren't banging him, if people weren't covering for him and all that kind of stuff, maybe he'd be alive. Maybe he'd be a different person if there were consequences to his actions. And I think it's the same thing with our politicians. if there are consequences to their actions. When they do horrible things, when they lie, when they steal, when they take away this, when they take away that, and you see them doing all sorts of awful things, instead of making excuses for their punk asses, if we actually hold them accountable, maybe we can get things done. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that would work? I do. And so do you. Segment over. You know what, guys and gals, sass bastards around the world. I ran into a couple of friends of mine who some of them were in Atlanta or they were they're from Atlanta and they're still whining about the Super Bowl. And then back in my hometown of Villanova, in Philadelphia, the Villanova Wildcats got bounced, really early in the NCAA tournament. And, a lot of times we see these things happen, and we think, man, you know what you did, man. If you'd have done this, you should have done that. Because you can't put yourself in that situation. And you really don't know what it's going to be like in a situation like that. You don't know what you would do in a situation like that, because I'm assuming the overwhelming majority of you people, no matter what country you're in, you've never played in an NCAA tournament as a returning champion. You've never been in the Super Bowl and built up a big lead on another team and then blew it like that. You've never done that. And sometimes I was thinking, man, we don't know as people who are not professional athletes what it's like to build up a big lead like that, or to come in as a fighter that everybody assumes is going to walk through somebody and then have that other person either beat you as the favorite or make it so difficult for you that you're just completely shocked and shell shocked that you actually won. You don't know what that's like. But then I realized, yeah, we kind of do know what that's like. And I kind of know what that's like. I really do. Not in that particular aspect of life, but in another one. Now, I'm in the process now of losing weight, and this time I'm doing it very consciously. Because the last time I lost weight, I was not doing it consciously, and that was the mistake. I wanted to lose a certain amount of weight, and I wanted to do it, and I talked to the doctor, and I talked a whole lot of crap to the doctor. Doc, I'm going to do this and do that, and I'm going to do this, and I'll come back, I'm going to do this, and when you look at that paper, you see that weight on there, I'm going to come back, and when I come back, I'm going to be this, that, all that trash talk. And there was a certain amount of time between the doctor's visit and the next doctor's visit. It was going to be 6 months. And I walked out, when I comes back, and she's going to look down in that weight, and she's going to say, Mr. Thomas, look at what you did. And a month goes by, and I didn't pick up one weight, didn't run anything, didn't change a damn bit of diet, didn't do a damn thing. And now there's 5 months to the next doctor's visit. That's all right. I still got 5 months. And you know what? I messed up that month. But this next month, damn it, I'm going to eat good and lift good and do double lifting and triple lifting and quadruple lifting and all of that crap on the one double marathons and triple marathons while carrying a bus and double diet water and all of that crap. And another month goes by and didn't do a damn thing. Actually, that's not true. I lifted weights really good and had a good workout one day. And then after that, I have a skip a day. I'm a little sore, and I wound up skipping 29 more days. Month 2 goes by. I have 4 months to the doctor's visit. Oh no. Well, that's all right. I still got 4 months, damn it. I'm going to run quadruple marathons, lift double, quintuple workout, and eat double diet, half water, double diet, water cube, double water sandwiches, and all of that crap. That's what I'm going to do, damn it. And if I do that, and the 2 weeks goes by, now I have 3.5 months. Oh no. And I'm already thinking of excuses to tell the doctor as to why I'm going to come back at exactly the same weight that I left, or 2 pounds up or 2 pounds down, which technically is the same crap because you lost that in water weight. So she will look at the thing and say, oh, so you're the same weight, you fat slob bastard. And then when she's doing the prostate exam, she goes, I'll be right back. And then I'm still sitting there. And then she walks in. I'm going, why is the door open? I just want everybody to know what your fat ass looks like, because it's still the same fat ass from 6 months ago, you fat bastard. She wouldn't do that. But I felt bad. And I'm already making excuses in my mind. I fell down some stuff, and thing happened and there was so much stuff happened, and this happened and that happened, and bullshit excuse 1 through 50. And the doctor will just look at you and like, do you really think you're the only person that gave me horse crap excuses for not working out? I should pimp slap you in the mouth with the back of my hand, come back with the front slap, pimp slap you again and come back with the front slap. And before you get mad, I'll just tell you it's a new therapy called pimp slap therapy. And you'll have to take my word for it because I'm a doctor and you're not. She would not do that. But I said, I got to do something. I got to show some kind of something. I got 3.5 months to go. I can't do this again. So what did I do that time? I just said, I'm going to work out 45 minutes a day, 6 days a week. I'm not even going to schedule the workouts. I'm just going to know today I got to do something for 45 straight minutes. And that's what I did. And I just kind of carved out 45 minutes. Sometimes I stayed up later than I wanted to, or woke up earlier than I wanted to, and I got it done because I said, I got to do this. Because a lot of times when people don't want to work out, I really just don't have the time. And in many cases, and this is not everybody, obviously there are people that are literally overwhelmed with crap and literally just don't have the time and just physically can't do it. But a lot of people, some people like me, I could do it. It just means I had to give up something else. And I had to ask myself, once again, this is my situation. Don't be annoyed going, well, I'm busy. If you really are busy, this doesn't apply to you. This just applies to people who really aren't that busy and are in fact making a horse crap excuse, which was my case. And I realized to get that 45 minutes, like I said, I either had to stay up a little later or go to sleep a little early. Well, it didn't make sense to do it at night because it would just make me go to sleep. It would take me another extra hour to go to sleep after working out. So I had to stop doing that, even though I did have to mix those in sometimes when that was the only time I could work out. Or I'd get up early and there would be somebody who'd bother me in the morning or call in the morning and engage me in some conversation about something that was important. But somehow I had to get it done. So what I started to do was I started to either find a television show that lasted an hour, and I'd wait 15 minutes into the show and I'd work out for the rest of the show. Or when I was supposed to go and hang out with friends and do some stuff, they'd go to a bar or something for an hour or so, or hang out or something like that. I said, I can't do that. I'll meet you guys on Sunday. We'll hang out on Sunday, but I got to take care of this. Or we'll hang out on Saturday, but I can't do it during the week because Monday through Friday and one day, either Saturday or Sunday, I got to get that workout in. And depending on when I get the workout in, that's when I get to hang out with you guys, but I got to get it done. And they respected that. So I finally got my routine down. The first 2 weeks was difficult. The last 3 months, it was just basically get up and at some point during the day, no matter what, get that 45 minutes in. And I didn't. I just did it and 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 did it methodically. And I didn't even pay attention to what was going on. I just kept doing it. And I ate a little more, and I started replacing some of my meat with salads. Actually, people were eating cheesesteaks. I went out, what are you doing? Getting the salad. What are you, a salad eater now? And I would go home and I would chop up my salad and I'd put it together. And sometimes I'd put it together and I'd bring it with me. And they're eating cheesesteaks and double hoagies and triple hoagies and quadruple pizza and double pizza hoagie pizza hoagies. And I'm eating my salad with a little tuna on it. And they're looking at me like, what are you, a punk something? But when they started seeing it happen on a regular basis, they realized I didn't care what they thought. And quite frankly, I'm not really that big of a deal. Peer pressure means absolutely nothing to me for the most part. So I kept doing that. 3.5 months of that. Go to the doctor's office, and she puts me on the scale, and she goes, huh? What the? And I go, what? She goes, you lost 26.5 pounds. Huh. I was so busy being methodical about it. I didn't even think about the fact that I just lost 26.5 pounds. I had really lost 26.5 pounds of fat. I didn't realize it. And what I started to do was I started walking around. I was all full of myself now, right? I was right around where I told the doctor I was going to be. Of course, I expected to do it over 6 months, not 3.5 months. But I hit the number and the doctor was like, oh, you really did it? You really did? You said you were going to lose 25. You lost 26.5. Yeah, doc, you know how it is. When you big start building myself up like I'm some kind of, I would go places and people who hadn't seen me in a couple of months. Oh God, you look so good. I can't believe you look good. Ooh, you look good. You look good. Look good. Little muscles. You look good. And I started getting full of myself. The same way a boxer gets full of himself when he goes into the ring with somebody he's ranked so much higher than. He should be able to walk in there, knock this guy out real quick, and schedule his next fight for 2 weeks from now. Because let's be honest, one punch, what difference does it make? It ain't like I'm hurt. Round 7, you're bloody. You're ahead on the cards, but you're only ahead by 1 point. I should have knocked this guy out a long time ago. What the hell is this? Football team. I'm up by 25 points. It's tied. What the hell? Or football team. I wish we should have blown this team out in the first half and we're down by 6. What the hell is this? And I got full of myself. Right? So the doctor's expecting me to come back and have lost another 25 pounds. And then, we're done here. You did weight loss over, done, finished. Yay. I come back and have 13 pounds heavier the next time she sees me. What the hell? And then the next time I come back, I'm back at the weight where I was the first time. Damn it. And that's what happened. This was years ago, but that's what happened. I got so full of myself. And when I sat back and I thought about it, I realized it was very similar to those teams. You show up, right? You get a little bit of a lead on the other team. You get a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl. And the next thing you know, you lose in overtime like Atlanta. I had a 26.5-pound lead. On the weight loss at the time, I had a 26.5-pound lead out of nowhere. I messed up and I still had a 26. And I said, listen, if I can get a 26.5-pound lead, then I'm going to win this game. By the time I come back and see the doctor, she's going to be going, not only have you lost all the weight, but I have some people here from the Mr. Olympia place and they want you to begin training for Mr. Olympia because that's how incredible you look. But that's not what happened, was it? So I was driving down the road and I was listening to people talking about Villanova losing in the first round, and people were still dissing the Atlanta Falcons for getting their ass whipped in the Super Bowl. I mean, they didn't take a bad whipping, but they had a big lead and lost it. And I heard some people talking about a fighter who should have just whipped the behind of the person he was in the ring with and barely got past them. And everybody talks this crap. And I realized I can't talk crap like that because I had a 26.5-pound lead and blew it. Well, I'm sure that at some point in your lives, you had a big lead on something, didn't you? You had a big lead and you thought it was over. You thought the game was over. You thought you won. You thought it was done. You thought you could take your foot off the brakes. You thought you could ease up and you were just going to coast through to the finish line. And then what happened? Bam! Something came up and cracked you across your ass and you're going, how did I lose this? But the good thing about life is you get another opportunity to do things, don't you? You get another chance, don't you? You get another chance. You get another freaking chance to try again. And this time, as I lose weight, I'm doing it as methodically as I was before, but this time I'm very conscious. Oh, yeah. I'm paying attention. Oh, yeah. So at this point, the most I'll ever gain back without knowing about it will be about a pound or two, and then I'll see those pounds come back on, and I'll go, oh, no, you don't. Like a football team, you got a big lead and the other team does something big and gets a touchdown and you go, oh, nice try, jackass. And you keep doing what you were doing to get the lead in the first place instead of playing to run out the clock. You decide to run up the score a little bit. You decide to put them away instead of, if I had that 26.5-pound lead, I should have said I got a 26.5-pound lead and almost a little more than half the time that I said it was going to get these pounds off in the first place, which means if I keep doing what I'm doing, most likely, not only will I have by the end of the next 6-month period lost all the weight I need to lose, I will be getting to the point where I'm starting to sculpt and I can build up the muscle. Not only will I step on the scale with all the weight gone, I'll step on the scale and I'll do a little flexy, and a little tricep flexy, and a little back flexy, and a little left, right ass cheek flexy. And that way, when I come back the next time and she checks my prostate and she puts the finger in and then she walks out and brings in the other doctors to take a look at my ass instead of going, what the hell is that fat bastard? They'll go, man, that man's ass looks delicious. 'Cause that's what I want to hear. Why, hey, I'm bent over here and you just had your finger in my ass, and normally I'd be allowed to stand up, but I can feel the cold air of the wind coming from the hallway. And unlike last time where people were going, ha ha ha, fat ass, I'm hearing applause. And I'm also looking at my phone and I notice there's a live stream called S. Anthony's Delicious Ass post prostate exam. I'm going to have to tell you to turn that off. Unless we put on some ads, because I want to get ad revenue from millions of people looking at the deliciousness of my buttocks. This just got weird. But that's what I was thinking when I heard about those games, man. It's like, even though we don't know what it's like to be a professional athlete, to blow a lead, we know what it's like to blow a lead. You know what it's like to be in a relationship with somebody and everything's going good, and then you start neglecting them, and, you know, they go away, or you're in a relationship with someone and they start neglecting you and you go away. You had the lead. You had them. You married them, or you were living with them. You were getting it on with them on a regular basis. You had babies together, or you had a long-term relationship. Everything's going great. You have a lead. Other people can't get your girlfriend. She loves you and she lives with you when she's married to you and she's your wife. Other people can't get your boyfriend. He loves you and lives with you and you're your husband. They can't get the person, but now you're not paying attention to them. Now you're kind of neglecting them. Now you're kind of treating them bad. Now you're not getting it on with them anymore. Now you're not affectionate anymore. And all of a sudden, that big lead you had, gone. And so are they. So we all know what it's like to be in that situation where you have a big lead, you think you got it all wrapped up, and then, because you didn't do what you were supposed to do, the lead evaporates. And sometimes you lose. Sometimes the lead evaporates and you just get a scare. But in either case, you shouldn't be in that situation in the first place. So I lost that first weight loss game, okay? Because going back to where you were is a loss. It's not as big a loss as going back to where you were plus more weight, but going back to where you were in the beginning, that's a loss. But this time, I'm starting to take the lead again, and this time I'm watching the clock, and this time I'm watching what the opponent's doing, and this time I'm making it to point to do what I'm supposed to do, and this time I'm not going to stop running up the score. I'm not going to stop running up the score till the clock says 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh, yeah. This time, I'm going to be standing at a parade holding up the I'm back in shape trophy with confetti falling on me. And I'm going to be going, I got it. It's done. It's over with. And then I'm going to hold up the next trophy called maintenance. Sorry, fat ass. You're gonna go, and you ain't invited back. Here's your eviction notice. So come on, guys. You know what I'm talking about. There's something that you're doing or something that you didn't do or something stupid going on around you where you built up a lead and you should win that game, and you started messing up. It's time to win, my friends. It's time to win. Oh, yeah. Ha ha. Segment over. Well, folks, this has been episode number 259 of the S. Anthony Says podcast, and I want to thank you guys very, 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 very much for tuning in. Much love to every last one of my sass bastards around the world. Much love to my sass bastards in Australia. Much love to my sass bastards in Canada. Much love to my Great Britain and my UK sass bastards. Of course, my American sass bastards and the other places that that are listening that I don't know are listening right now, that are listening in the future. Thank you to you too as well. This podcast, the S. Anthony Says podcast, is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and the Podcast Revolution Network. Now, please follow the social media for me and for this show. The social media, we'll start with Twitter. For me specifically, on Twitter, it's at S. Anthony Thomas. For the show, it's at S. Anthony Says. I have a verified page on Facebook. If you're in Facebook, just go into the top box and the search box and type in S. Anthony Says. You will see my page with my smiling face and the blue check mark indicating that, of course, it's the verified page for this particular public figure, the very handsome man in the top picture to the left with that dopey ass smile, aka me. And also, I'm on Instagram too, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's surprisingly S. Anthony Thomas. Well, not surprisingly S. Anthony Thomas, just my name S. Anthony Thomas. Don't be a dope and actually type in surprisingly S. Anthony Thomas, because that ain't me, damn it. If you want to send some information, some messages to me, you want to send declarations of love, suggestions, comments, declarations of love, please do so at this address. talktousanthony@gmail.com. TALK, the word to, T-O, my name, santhony@gmail.com. And before I go, once again, as I always do, and I mean it every single time because you guys have been really, really cool. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you for the direct messages of encouragement and love for the show. Thank you for the email, love for the show. Thank you for the tweets and the retweets. My Potter and Family, Tripod. These are both hashtags you should check out for good stuff. Hashtag Potter and Family, hashtag Tripod, hashtag Pods in Color. Any of those hashtags will lead you to good shows. So damn it, click on them and get to listening after you listen to my pod, of course. Anyway, but folks, I want to thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done and for being really, really cool to me. I really do appreciate it. And folks, it doesn't matter to me where you listen to me, where you're listening to me on riding on a lawnmower, on the treadmill, walking down the street, driving in your car. Thank you for letting me into your ears, into your mind, into your hearts. And folks, I'm going to say goodbye the way I always say goodbye, and I want you to do it with me. I know you do it with me, and I want you to keep doing it with me. And new sass bastards, it's part of the thing. You got to do it with me. You got to say it out loud. Are you ready? On the count of 3. Of course you're ready. Are you ready? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. S. Anthony. Out.